Mark chapter 8. In those days, again, a many numerous throng being there and not having what they could eat, calling the learning ones, he said to them, I am innerly moved looking on the throng, since they already await with me 3 days, and they have not what they could eat. And if I unloosen them into the dwelling site as fasting ones, they will be outloosened in the way, and some of them have arrived from afar. And his learning ones answered and said, From where will someone be able to satiate these with bread here on at the desolateness? And he asked them, How many loaves of bread do you have? But they said, 7. And he instructed the throng to sit down on the earthland. And having taken the 7 loaves of bread, giving thanks, he broke them and gave them to his learning ones, so that they may set them beside each individual. And they set them beside the throng. And they had a few fishlets. And blessing these, he said that they also besides set these. And all ate and were satiated, and they lifted away the aboundings of the leftover broken pieces, 7 baskets full. But the eating ones were 4,000, and he unloosened them. And straightway, having stepped into the ship with his learning ones, into the parts of Dalmanutha. And the Pharisees came out, and Origen began to dispute with him, seeking to perceive a sign from beside him from the heaven, tempting him therewith. And up sighing in his spirit, he says, Why does this generation seek a sign? Amen, I say to you, woe, if this generation will be given a sign. And having left them there, again having stepped in and sailed away, he came into the shore beyond. And they had forgotten on to take bread, and had none except 1 loaf of bread with them in the ship. And he thoroughly gave them aim, saying, See, look away from the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. And they overconsidered thoroughly to one another, He says this since we have not bread. And Jesus, having become knowing in regards to this, says to them, What do you overconsider thoroughly, since you have not bread? Not yet do you think, but also do you not understand? You have your heart as one being calloused? Having eyes you do not look see, and having ears you do not hear, and not do you remember. When I broke the 5 loaves of bread into the 5,000, and how many panniers full of broken pieces did you lift away? They said to him, 12. When I also broke the 7 loaves of bread into 4,000, the complete fillings of how many baskets of broken pieces did you lift away? And they say 7. And he said to them, Not yet do you understand. And he comes into Bethsaida, and they bring a blind one to him, and beside call him, so that he may touch him. And having taken on the hand of the blind one, he brought him outside of the village, and spitting into his eyed ones, and having set hands on him, he asked on him if he look see something. And being capable of uplooking, he said, I look see human, that they are as trees, I see them walking. Thereafter he again set on the hands on his eyes, and he looked through, and he relieved him from the downstand, and he looked at all clearly. And he dispatched him into the dwelling site, saying, You should not come into the village. And Jesus came out and his learning ones into the village of Caesarea, the city of Philip. And in the way he asked on his learning ones, saying to them, What do the humans say who I am? But they said to him, saying, John the Baptizer, and others Elijah, but others one of the prophets. And he asked on them, But you, what do you say who I am? But answering, Peter said to him, You are the Christ, the Son of God. And he warned them so that they may say it to not one that concerning him. And he, Origen, began to teach them, It is binding for the Son of the human to suffer many things, and to be examined away under the authority by the preceders and of the archpriests and the scribes, and to be slain and to rise after 3 days. And with frankness he spoke the word. And having taken him aside, Peter, Origen, began to warn him. But having been turned on, and having perceived his learning ones, he warned Peter and said, Go away behind me, Satan, since you do not mind the things of God, but the things of the human. And calling the throng together with his learning ones, he said to them, If anyone is willing to come behind after me, let him deny himself, and let him lift his stake, and let him follow me. For whosoever will save his soul will wholly loosen it away, but who, as it were, will wholly loosen away his soul, out for my and the well announcement's sake will save it. For what will benefit if a human gains the whole cosmos, and thereby loses his soul. For what will a human give in exchange for his soul? For whosoever will be ashamed in regards to me and my words in this adulterous and failing generation, also the Son of Human will be ashamed in regards to him, when as it were he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.